So the title of this talk is Contractor-Based Viability Algorithm. My name is Stéphane Lemenec. My affiliation, my company is MBDA. Okay, so this slide is about the plan I propose for this presentation. First of all, I would like to introduce the topic, then provide some basic definition about viability theory. The third section is about classical viability algorithm using set operators. And then, in the fourth section, I will talk about contractor-based viability set computing. So, viability algorithm using interval tools and more especially contractors. I have a brief example on which I apply the contractor-based viability algorithm before to conclude. Okay, so introduction. So viability theory, I don't know if you are aware about this theory. I know that some of you know perfectly well this theory. So invented by Jean-Pierre Robin and co-authors, and Jean-Pierre Robin wrote several books about viability theory. So provide a collection, a menagerie of set concepts and algorithms to study the property of dynamic systems. So in a way to study the stability of such a system, to optimize control of such a system, or to compute reachability. And generally, the purpose is to take into account errors, uncertainties, disturbance we have in such a system. So interval computing now provides powerful numerical method to approximate sets. So to build subpavings, it's a way to approximate general set, compute over approximation, under approximation. I say lattice also. Refined interval techniques as set inversion and guarantee integration allow to implement viability kernel and capture bassin algorithms. So other presentation talks deal with that, taken into account very precise and well-defined guarantee integration algorithm and method, powerful, and so on. And this paper deals mainly with how we could implement viability algorithm using contractors, contractor programming as defined by Luc Jolin and co-authors. Okay, so viability theory definition. One or two slides about viability. What is a viable evolution trajectory? So, first of all, I defined what is a viable trajectory in this way. Let us consider either a temporal interval with a finite horizon time, so t defined between 0 and capital T, finite, or we may talk about infinite time horizon, and then, for simplicity reason, I will say that it is always an interval between 0 and capital T, and capital T is then infinity. Okay. So we consider an evolving environment. The environment is described by set K. So K can evolve along during time. So set K is defined by viability constraints. What are the constraints that define a viable environment? So the set of all states that satisfy environment constraints. And then when capital T is finite, we define an evolving target. So evolving as the set K, but in this case, set C defined according to time all along the time interval 0, capital T. Okay. And the usual case, we consider non-evolving target for which C of t is empty set when t is less than capital T, and only C of capital T equal to C. So empty set only always most of the time C is an empty set. Just at the end, C of capital T is equal to the target set. An evolution, so a trajectory, is said to be viable in K if for all t between 0 and capital T, x, the state x, the t, is inside the set K. So, I will explain one more definition about capture bassin, but first of all, I would like to introduce rapidly what is a differential inclusion. Because in the slide before, I talked about evolution. So the differential inclusion is only a way to describe how the state evolve according to time, so to build trajectories. So it's only to say that x dot belong to this differential inclusion capital F. Okay, capital F define for t between 0 and capital T. Now, some word about capture bassin. So we introduce the capture bassin capt F of K and C of the target C. So C is the target as defined before. Viable in the environment K, set K as defined before. And capt F is only the set of initial state x0 belonging necessarily to set K, such as there exists, first of all, a finite horizon time T star, at least one evolution. It is important, at least, because in the framework of viability, it is required to find only one. As soon as there exists one trajectory, the state can be included in the viability kernel. So at least one evolution of x starting from x0 defined on 0 T star, governed by the differential equations, the differential inclusion I talked about before. Viable in K, very important. So all points of the trajectory have to be viable, have to belong to set K, and reaching the target, because we talk about capture bassin, at time T star. Okay. That's all. So viability algorithm. So the purpose of this presentation is to compute capture bassin. So first of all, we move from continuous time to discrete time. It is explained at the beginning. So rather than to talk about differential inclusion, we talk about flow. So something linked to discrete state, xn and xn plus 1. Okay. We will, the purpose is to compute capture bassin in this discrete time framework. And there are two types of algorithms, always according to viability theory described by Jean-Pierre Robin, to compute capture bassin. The first algorithm is called the capture bassin algorithm. And this capture bassin algorithm is the union of a sequence of subset Cn, like this. And all these sequence of subset Cn are included, this sequence is included in the capture bassin, And how we compute this sequence of subset is described only by those two equations. So we have a target, and at first step, C0 is equal to this target. And the purpose is only to add to the target all state for which there exists at least one trajectory reaching the target in one step time. Okay. It is described by the second the second equation. So we increase the target step by step, because at the next iteration we restart with the target set we increase with the state we are able to drive into the target. Just a remark, there is here K in intersection with the viability with the set K. It's just to say that this trajectory, this one-step trajectory, has to satisfy the environment constraints. Okay. So it is an iterative process, and following this algorithm, we increase the target set up to the capture bassin. So at the end, when n will go to a large number, infinity, we will obtain an under approximation of cap de phi. So in the meaning of intervals, we can compute an over approximation, an under approximation of this subset Cn, because Cn is a general set. So we can compute over and under approximation, subpaving, to approximate. But what is needed is only the under approximation. Okay. We don't need both approximation of Cn, we need only one. Because we have the second algorithm to compute viability, to compute the capture bassin, another type of algorithm, but always to compute the capture bassin. And this algorithm is called viability kernel algorithm, or more exactly, viability kernel algorithm with target. Okay. So, this algorithm starts from the set K, and the purpose is to remove from this set K all the states we are not able to keep inside the set K. So when I say able to keep, it is because generally we have controls, and we try to find one evolution, the right control, to keep the trajectory in set K, for example, here. So we start from set K, and we remove all state x0 we are not able to keep inside the set K. And so it is always an iterative process, starting from set K, and we compute a sequence of subset Kn, and the capture bassin is always included in all those subset Kn. But the subset Kn will decrease because we remove states until having an over approximation of capture bassin cap de phi. So similarly to the previous slide, we can, using interval techniques, compute subpaving, so an over approximation, an under approximation of the subset Kn, but in reality we need only one. We need only the over approximation. And okay, so another way to say that is to say that we try to find the state that are leaving the set K minus the target set. Okay, just one word about this slide. So this equation explains the process I talk about. Plus, here you have C, an union with target, because if the states are inside the target, that's fine. The problem is finished. We are in the target set. So by definition, those states are viable or have to stay in the, have to be considered in this process. Okay. Convergence theorem. Naturally, both subset Cn, sequence of subset Cn and Kn, are computed normally at each subset on a grid of the state space. About the convergence, we can refer to the book written by Jean-Pierre Robin, and here you have the reference of the theorem to use to prove the convergence of those algorithms. And the iterative computing allows to perform the following sequence. So capture bassin, and you have here the sequence of the Cn subsets, and here the sequence of the Kn subsets. Okay, so now I move to the contractor-based viability set computing. Just one slide, but probably not needed to recall and to be sure that we talk about the same contractors. So contractor, to contract a box respect to a capital X set of constraints. So the property are contractance and completeness. Okay, so constraints can be geometric constraints generally, the first example, but in this case, the purpose is to have ordinary differential equation constraints. So next slide. So before to talk about ordinary differential equation constraints, just one word. In viability theory, I talked a little about that before, the purpose is to find one evolution to optimize control. That's why I introduce contractors with U control. So we define contractor-based viability algorithm with U controls. So I write the contractor I talk about are defined in this following form. So several comments. I use capital C for contractor and capital C for the subset I talked about before. So can be confusing, but the typography is not the same, but can be confusing. Okay. Okay. The box we consider are twice the dimension. So with xn plus n, twice the dimension of the problem. Okay. So okay, I will speed up a little. So the contractor I define is associated to the following flow. So there exists a U control such that xn is related to xn plus 1. So that's the contractor I will consider. So ordinary differential equation with quantifier, there exists a U. And now the contractor-based viability kernel algorithm. So using the ordinary differential equation contractor with quantifier I defined before, I rewrite the viability kernel algorithm in this way. So first remark, the purpose is not to, I don't compute set K, the sequence of subset K, but the complementary set, the complementary of those subsets. So that's why at the beginning I have key 0 complementary set equal to x minus k. And what I use the projection operator to because after contraction I want to obtain again the x state, so only the xn part of the contracted box. And due to the contractor process, I don't use the contracted box, but the difference between the initial box and the contracted box, because only for this part of the box I am sure of a property. Okay, it's related to the contraction process. And by doing that, I compute all box that for sure going outside the Kn, the Kn state. So okay, I have a drawing to explain a little that. So okay, because I am a little late, I will move forward and talk a little about that using a drawing. Before the drawing, I have also a version of the contractor-based capture bassin algorithm. Then I define a new ODE contractor. In this case, the quantifier of the U control is for all. So it's a regular contractor. I put for all U, but it is a regular contractor. because there exists this contractor, okay. This contractor is easy to implement in Ibex because this contractor is already, there are tools in Ibex to easily implement this kind of contractor. This contractor is a regular contractor, and similar to what I explained for the viability kernel, I have an interpretation of the capture bassin algorithm using contractors, always with projection, always with different respect to the initial box after contraction, and so on. Okay, I move forward. So the drawing I talk about. So at one step, I have a collection of boxes defining a Kn subset, and I pick one box, Xn, in yellow, and I select another box, Xn plus 1, the pink. I contract the box defined by those two sub-boxes. So I have one big box defined by the pink and the yellow. I contract that to see if those states Xn and Xn plus 1 are related by the differential equation. I take the difference between the contracted box and the initial box only for Xn. That's why I have this projection operator. And by doing that, I know the states that are not related to the pink box. And I do that for the yellow box with all the red box. After that, I do an intersection between the result. And then at the end, I am sure that the remaining set in the yellow box are going outside. So I do an union. And I have, in this way, all the sets I have to include to the complementary set Kn in a way to have the new Kn plus 1 complementary set. Okay, I move forward. Okay, that's the same explanation, similar, for the capture bassin. What I have forgotten to say before, it is on this drawing that the explanation of the contractor-based capture bassin and the viability kernel. But in addition, we have two controls. Up to now, I say only one control, but here, in this case, it's two controls because I move forward slightly to pursuit evasion game, two-player pursuit evasion game. So we have one control we try to optimize, as I explained before, the U control, but I take into account, in addition, an uncertain parameter, the second player parameter. So when I say I try to find one evolution, I try to find, is there a U control? It is whatever the V control, whatever is the uncertainty. Okay. That's why here you have V, U, sometimes written between brackets or not. It is here. Question, is there a V, whatever are the U? Okay. Example, 1 minute. Okay. So for the example, I use a well-known homicidal chauffeur game described in the well-known book of Isaacs for differential games. So the contractor-based viability optimal control version described in the previous section, but now two controls, have been extended to the case of two-player pursuit evasion game and applied to compute capture zone. For illustration purpose, we compute the capture zone of the homicidal chauffeur game of a finite time horizon. There is a nice coordinate frame transformation to have differential equation only with two state variables. So to have that, you have to consider the center of the coordinate frame as P, the car. The car has a turning radius constraint, and the evader is the pedestrian with no curvature constraints. And the velocity vector of the car, P, pursuer, is the y axis. And x, y are only the coordinate of the pedestrian in this referential. Okay. And so you draw around P what is interception, what is collision, what is capture. And the purpose is to compute capture bassin in this framework. Just one, two slides. So, P is the pursuer, R is the parameter describing its minimum turning radius, E is the evading pedestrian. We have velocity for both the car and the pedestrian. So the control are turning radius for the car, the pursuer, and a direction directly for the evader. What is nice is that we can represent everything in the 2D coordinate frame, and we apply the capture bassin algorithm, so the two versions, viability kernel and capture bassin, in a way to compute the capture bassin. And here you have after 10 iterations, so in blue that the area, only the half of the state, the coordinate frame, because you have a symmetry along the y axis, respect to the y axis. Blue is capture. In green, you have the capture bassin algorithm result after 10 iterations, and in red, you have the viability kernel result after 10 iterations. And what is nice that it is you recover what you can compute using optimal control theory, ISACS techniques. So the barrier here, the usable part, non-usable part for those who have interest in differential games. Conclusion, yes. Okay, as a conclusion, just a summary of what I explained, and thanks, just a notation that this work has receive funding and support from two ANR French projects. They are related to those ANR projects. One related to, because one is related to viability, and the other one is related to EDO contractors.
Thank you, Stéphane.
Time or no time?
So many questions. Okay. I was wondering in the ODE contractor, are you using a set integrator, or how do you do this?
No, not at all. To be honest, I define this EDO contractor not using guaranteed integration. Okay, I understand that to be rigorous, I would have to use guarantee integration, but in this case, I use only Euler scheme, Runge-Kutta order, first order, to define constraints between xn and xn plus 1. That's why it is easy to understand that we have a geometric constraint between xn and xn plus 1. So
you do this on box. You do the earlier step on box.
Yes.
On boxes. So
Yes.
why not just at least use the Picard operator?
Yes, could be also a simple way to more take into account margin respect to integration process. Yes, you are right. Several integration scheme could be taken into account to define the constraints between xn and xn. Maybe the Picard operator is an interesting one.
Question, comments? Yes, please.
Yeah, just a question. I need to make a small reference to what I presented in the beginning of this morning. Do you believe that when training a neural network the weight space, knowing where defining a basin of attraction, where the network can go, with some gradient descent procedure, what you do is you make a trajectory in the weight space.
Yes.
Okay. Could we use such an approach to know, because when you do this trajectory, you have some parameters like the step,
Yes.
you know, the learning rate,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
some other parameters anyway, the gradient, where you're from. Can we use such an approach to say, to predict whether a specific trajectory can be taken by an algorithm, by a training algorithm?
Perhaps. When we compute, generally, when we
Because,
compute,
excuse me,
yes, yes,
because
yes.
just to sum up,
Wait.
training a neural network can be seen as a control problem.
Yes,
I mean,
as
what
a
are
capture problem. And what is interesting, it is that when we apply a gradient method, it is a forward process. So we start from x0 and see if we can go to a minimum.
Okay.
But according to this kind of theory, so capture bassin computation or capture zone computation in differential games, it is more a backward process. So we start from the capture zone, can be seen as an attractor, and compute backward state from where we know that the trajectory will go to the capture bassin. And then we enlarge the attractor, we enlarge the capture zone, and then for the gradient process, it's only to see if we start from this capture zone, so then it's okay, or to see if we, by using gradient techniques, we can reach capture zone. So it's not needed to go until the minimum state, but only to see that we can reach the capture zone after we have previously solved the problem. It's a way, perhaps, to speed up also. If you have to train online, can take a long time. But if before you pre-calculate capture zone or large attractor, can speed up the process. Okay. I don't know if I answer completely your question, but
Okay, something specific, maybe we take the time to discuss it aside.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Other comment, question? Maybe let's thank again the speaker and then.